Podcast, a space for sharing real money stories and where we dive into real conversations about finance, success, and the lessons learned along the way. I'm thrilled to introduce our guest for this episode, an owner and sales and business development director of JMLT Realty, Mr. Jesse James Cooley Yamado. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Gab. Good afternoon.
Hi. Before we proceed, I just wanted to dive deeper about your personal money journey. Can you tell us more about your financial mindset and what is your first memory of money and how did it shape your financial mindset?
Well, this is really long in terms of memory. Na, I can still remember when I was young. I remember the words kulang, biten, utang, lack. And those words are like the daily words that I hear inside our household. So when you're growing up and you hear that every day, it kind of affect how you think about finances, about money. So in my case, parang I feel like when you talk about money, laging kulang, laging biten, mahirap siyang ma-achieve. You really have to do a lot of things to have more money. So I feel like it's not that easy to achieve when I was younger. And parang there's always this wall that stops you from getting more, doing more, kasi you feel like you're not enough. So, mainly because that's the background that I had before. So, I grew up in a poor family. So, we just had enough. And yung mother ko works alone. And then she supports the family. So, lagi talagang kulang. And then, pag kulang, nangungutang siya sa to anyone. And then, that she uses that as payment for tuition and everything else. So, parang feeling ko, mahirap, mahirap kumuha ng pera
Oo.
when you're young, when I was younger. And, uh, nagbago lang talaga siya when I was in college. A friend of mine introduced me to books about finances. And then sabi ko, and then he opened this idea of financial freedom. And then, what is financial freedom? Yun, pwede pala yun. There is such a thing as financial freedom. And then I read a book and then read a lot of financial self-help books back then. The first book that I read was actually Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
yes.
that was in 2005. And then that really opened my mind. But I really had a lot of baggage, or you can say it's limiting beliefs with regard to money.
About that book, what does it say? What does it say?
Basically, yung it's about Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mm-mm.
So that book talks about two different mindsets of Robert Kiyosaki's father, his biological father, and then the other one was his mentor.
Mm-mm.
And he shared about their different mindset and which mindset did he take in order to improve his life. And then he had other books pa eh. But that's basically it. He talked about how to paradigm shift your mindset in order to become financially free. And I realized na money is just a tool. The moment you shift your mindset, especially my limiting beliefs at the time, money is just a result of changing that mindset. So the more you change your mindset, the more you grow your mindset, the more that you will believe that having more money is just an output of growing your mindset. Yon. But before, parang feeling ko it's all about making money. You have to uh, really work hard in school in order to get good grades. And when you graduate, you'll get a high-paying job. But hindi siya ano eh, it's not for everyone. Like you, I thought initially when I graduate, I'll get a high paying job, but that's not true. When you're starting, you really have to start from the bottom, di ba? But then again, that seed started to grow in my mind. And then slowly, I started like changing my mindsets from fixed mindset to now growth mindset, and slowly removing all those limiting beliefs in my life. You know, when you have so many limiting beliefs kasi, like walang pera, when you hear that every day, you will believe na walang pera. Diba? And when you say, lagi na lang tayong mangungutang, those words that you hear from people or even from your families, the moment you embrace those words and it become part of your life, sometimes it manifests in you, hindi mo subconsciously nagiging part siya ng life mo. And then you think that way na din. Diba? When you are with other people who have the same mindset, you become like them. So that's why when I was younger, first thing that I did was find people who have the same mindset with regard to finances, in terms of how to grow your financial mindset, and then in how to grow your finances, your money. Yeah.
So growing up, you mentioned na part of your realizations to survive from n- um how do you say this, not privileged family, na you look for or you expose yourself to finance people, those who
Yes.
are more knowledgeable about finance literacy. But aside from that, what are some financial lessons na dapat nalaman mo na before para hindi na maulit-ulit yung struggle?
There's a lot of financial lessons, no? And one of the things that I've learned later later in life is that it's not all about money. You know, when you're young kasi, your goal, your drive is all about making it. You want to succeed, you want to make sure you get to achieve the things that you desire when you're younger, and you want to get everything at a very young age. And everything is all about money, everything's all about success. But I realize it's not about money. Money is a tool. It's not the end, it's not the goal. So if siguro when I was younger, if I could have like realized the purpose why I was aiming for it, I could have saved myself for with wrong financial decisions when I was younger. And the greatest currency is not actually money, it's the time. You know, I would really like, if I had the opportunity to go back, di ba? I would want to definitely make use of my time well. Yan. In terms of investing in skills and knowledge, and becoming more knowledgeable about my mindset, about my finances. Kasi money is just, ano lang siya eh, papel eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba? But it's an idea. It's a byproduct of something. It's a result of something. So if I have like pinag-aralan ko siya and I had the maturity at that time, siguro I would have attracted more opportunities at a very young age. Di naman ako nagsisisi, but it is what it is. I've learned my lessons. It had to happen for me to become the person that I am today. But if I had time, I would have used my time wisely. Yan, and I would have invested my time by learning more from other people, and learning about myself, about my mindset with regard to how to break all those mindsets at a very young age. But well, it's not too late. I was able to achieve pa rin naman at a later time.
So at a very young age, you already have that downfall financially.
Yes.
Um, until now ba, na-experience mo pa rin siya?
Well, I can say by faith, no? So I believe in faith. I'm blessed and favored na hindi na.
Hindi na.
Hindi na, because I promised myself na it won't happen again.
How do you manage your money na now, knowing na you have um, previous experience of struggling about money?
That's where RFP came in.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm a graduate of accounting and finance. But it's easy to study the finances of other people versus studying your own finances. Kasi when you talk about money, it's emotional. So you have an attachment to the hard-earned money. So you really have to understand your behavior, what's causing you to spend this much, what's causing you to put your money somewhere else, like sa hobbies mo, or anything that might not help you save enough. Yan. So, yun yung challenge mo eh. Regardless of how good you are as finance analyst or accountant, it doesn't matter eh. Yun. So, I really had to fix my behavior, financial behavior, and RFP. Uh, 11 years ago, I took that leap of faith to to take the program with of course, with the encouragement of my mentor, who happens to be the RFP director at the time, si Randall Chongson. So he's actually my mentor in the church, and I've learned about RFP through him. And I told him, I want to be like you. But I realized not just about being an RFP, no. So the moment I learned all the program, I took the program, and then I've learned about the structure. Yeah, the structure of like managing well your finances on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. And I want to go that process because I want to learn the discipline of managing your finances. And I did that while I was broke.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I was
So,
broke at the time.
you mentioned that you graduated as an accounting
Yes.
degree. So before RFP, how do you manage your money? How do you manage your money?
I think just like uh, any regular fresh graduates.
Like, an ipon lang talaga ng ipon, save lang ng save?
No, hindi ako nag-iipon. Yan.
Paano? Parang kapag,
Because when you're younger, I mean your salary is not, it's just sakto lang. Di ba? Hindi ka naman makaipon agad. What you do is just you pay for your living expenses and then the rest for your wants. Like, I remember my first paycheck is just about 10,000 pesos for the whole month. And then I have to pay for my rent, I have to pay for my food, then I have to uh, watch movies, go out with friends. Today, hindi ka na mabuhay sa
totoo, yeah.
10,000, di ba? In Manila, lalo na with all the expenses, di ba? With all the bills uh, rising up. So, it's really hard. It's really hard at the time. And kaya nga hindi ako parang it's hard for me to be in a relationship kasi I can't even handle myself.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So, one of the reasons din kung bakit di ka pumapasok sa any relationship is because yung struggles mo sa finance.
Yes, I feel like I can't uh because it's responsibility, di ba? When you're in a relationship, in any relationship, and it requires finance, it requires money
Yeah.
to be with someone.
Yeah.
And how can I maintain or sustain that if I don't have enough? I can't even handle myself. Why would I enter into a relationship? And but I was able to survive just enough. But it's, of course, if you wanna level up, you have to do more.
Okay, so since you're an owner right now and a sales and business development director, ever since you started this career, do you have any investments? And if meron ka mang na-invest, meron bang nag hindi mo in-expect na hindi siya mag-work?
Yun. One of the things that I've learned in the past with my mentors in RFP is to diversify. But when you don't have enough at the time, you can't diversify. So first things first, you have to be liquid. You have to save up. So that's what I did. I had to grow myself enough to make more money. And then attract opportunities where I can make more money. And then after that, that's when I invested. I invested that sa stocks, real estate, and other interest earning investments. So nakikibakas ako sa business. Yan. Kahit maliit lang, may konting kita. Uh, and then I make sure that I don't invest sa mga scams. Yan. So I think that's one of the things that I really learned from the program, no. I remember, ang laki ng tulong niya sa akin at the time kasi yung structure na na-create niya sa life ko. Very structured ako mag-isip when it comes to finances. Like, I look at my life the way I look at the enterprise, like companies. As an accountant kasi, you prepare financial statements, income statement, balance sheet. But generally, any regular individual don't do that. You don't really do your own income statement and balance sheet. Pero nung naging RFP ako, slowly yun yung ginawa ko. I started creating my own FS, studying my behavior, studying my life. I asked around, ganon. And then later on, when I have enough liquidity through my hard work, I was able to invest, and until now investing. So I have my own brokerage. So we also have another company which I co-own with my partner. So we have a cleaning company. So it's a partner company with my real estate broker. So we sell properties, high-end properties within the area, Pasig, Quezon City. And those opportunities actually are the result of the things that I practiced in the past. So hindi siya yung parang one time, big time. It's a discipline all the way from being broke to someone who I am today. Something had to happen eh. But with regard to investment, like there was this investment that we invested and then it did not pan out. And it's okay. Because the moment I invested, I knew the risk. I knew the risk. I studied the risk. I ran the numbers. And then I wasn't able to forecast what will happen because I realized in investment kasi no matter how prepared you are, there are just things that you cannot control, like market conditions. Hindi mo naman alam kung kailan magka-crash yung market eh. Right?
Yes.
Siyempre, nung time na nag-invest ka, ang saya mo. You feel like, you look at the performance, you look at the financial statements, okay naman. And then suddenly, pandemic happened.
Yeah,
Like, who
oo.
can prepare for that?
Yes,
Diba?
oo
So,
nga.
basically, pandemic happened, kaya nalugi yung investment. I had to forgive myself. It's okay. Diba? Kasi hindi lang naman kami yung nalugi eh. Then again, going back to diversification, buti na lang, we have other investments. Because I believe in averaging eh. So, kung lugi ka dito sa isang investment, sana kahit pa paano kumita yung kabila.
May backup.
May
Yeah.
backup ka. So, it balances your losses. And for those investments na we feel like not earning, we cut loss na. So, we stop the bleeding.
Okay, so right now, ano na lang yung san ka na lang invested?
We're still investing in real estate.
Okay.
And yung number one investment ko kasi is myself.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, I really invest in myself. I invest in education. Now, I'm taking up my further education, taking up my master's. And I also invest in our people. Yan. That's number one. Because I saw it already. It's not just about the output. It's about the input. What you do with what you have. Like, with the resources that you have. How do you grow yourself? And then, next would be investing in relationships. investing in partners. Like, who are the people within my network that I can work with, or may mga ideas sila na we can work together and then make that happen. Yan, I invest in networking, relationships. And then, the other would be investing in real estate, because real estate still is a good investment with capital appreciation of properties. Yan. Then again, syempre, we're talking about investment. Sometimes market condition affects investment. At the end of the day, uh, what's your appetite with regard to risk? Kaya mo bang lunukin yung talo, yung lugi? So, ang sure ako, if I invest in myself, hindi ako lugi. Yan. But for those investment na hindi magfa-fly, you have to be ready to swallow the pill.
Yeah, oo nga.
Yan.
Pero lahat ng yan, it's because of RFP program.
Malaking factor siya. Malaking factor kasi I didn't have that structure before. I just knew about the concept. I knew about the concept of financial statements, but I didn't know about personal financial planning. Like, how do you integrate that in your life? Paano? How? Kasi you don't really talk about behavioral finance in accounting, but you talk about the concept. And then how do you integrate it, and how do you make it part of your life, like daily life? And then you think like an enterprise. Ganon. And then you manage your finances on a daily basis. Kasi and this happened to me. Like, most people kasi, autopilot tayo eh. Our beliefs, our practices, our disciplines in the past affect how we think today. So, parang nagiging autopilot ka mag-isip. And then, that becomes you without actually thinking. Like, for example, pag may bagong mga items in the market, di ba? Pag it sounds parang gusto mo, if nature mo yon, behavior mo na bumili, kahit nag-aaral ka pa ng accounting, bibilin mo yun, di ba? Yun. So, your behavior will dictate your actions. And yun yung kinontrol ko talaga, that I had to master many years ago. So I knew for the fact na if I don't master my behavior, no matter how much I earn, doesn't matter. Parang I will not be able to save, I will not be able to grow anything na kitain ko. Diba? That's why there are people na who earn so much and yet still cannot save. Baon pa rin sa utang or hindi pa rin makapag-ipon. Kasi ano siya eh, behavioral talaga eh. Until you fix your behavior, and I myself took me years to fix it, you can never really transcend financial freedom or the ability to create and attract more opportunities in your life. Honestly, I don't think about money in a sense of object, but in a sense of opportunity. I realized that the more I grow myself, the more I become more, people get attracted to you, and then eventually, yung opportunities, ma-attract mo din siya, 'di ba? Ganun siya, it's natural eh. Why? Because they see something in you eh. Like, it could be you're trustworthy with regard to responsibilities, with regard to finances. When people start trusting you, then opportunities will come to you. So, ganun ko na siya tiningnan. Hindi na siya parang, I remember when I was 21.
Di ka na tumitingin sa past.
Yeah, nung 21 ako, ang tingin ko was, I wanna retire at the age of 30. So, I need this much money to retire at the age of 30. So, yung aspiration mo is really more about getting more money. And then, I asked one mentor, and then he told me, I don't think it's about retirement. Sabi niya, it's all about achieving financial freedom or or money or getting a lot of money. What you need to understand is why do you want that much money, 'di ba? Why do you want it? For what? For what purpose? So it's really more of a self-discovery. Self-discovery. Parang when you talk about money kasi, you're just scratching the surface. Yan. There's deep things that you can deep dive yan, into your life to discover more about yourself. And the more you dig deeper, the more you discover about yourself, yan, opportunities will come out. Diba? Opportunities to grow, opportunities to invest. Yan.
So, ever since you joined RFP, what motivated you ba? That mentor ba na tinutukoy mo? Or based, aside sa past experience mo on struggling financially?
But honestly, initially, syempre, Randall Chongson yan eh.
Yeah.
So, you wanna be like Randall Chongson? Parang, nung bata ako, bata pa.
Oo.
Sabi ko, I want to be an RP, like Randall. But, sabi niya sa akin, mag-work ka muna. Get work experience muna. And then, after that, you take RFP. But I realized, initially, I thought parang I just want to get the title. Kasi I want to be a financial planner, so and so. But then, later on, the more I like pondered and reflect, what I really want is to make it a mission in my life to improve myself, change my behavior, become better in terms of how to manage my life and my finances. And in doing so, I'm able to help others. So, I help my friends. So, yung mga natutunan ko sa RFP, prinactice ko yan sa mga friends ko. May mga friends ako na ginawan ko ng financial plan for free.
For free.
Yes. Yun. Kasi I thought of parang hindi siya about parang kumita agad eh. My goal really was to influence others with regard to managing their finances. And do it not because I want to make money, but because I want to influence and help others first. Kasi nga, as I was telling you kanina, yung money kasi is just a byproduct of the service that you give. If you're excellent, if you can be trustworthy, 'di ba? Then people will pay you back. So yung heart ko at that time was just help out. So pag may nagtatanong, Jessie, can you help me design my life? Design my financial life? Sure. Meet tayo, coffee tayo, walang bayad. O, sagot niya lang yung coffee ko, tsaka merienda. Yun. So, that was like the transition from someone who aspired to get just the license to someone who became a mission-driven na. And until now, ganun pa rin yung heart ko. Parang it evolved in such a way na it's no longer about you, but it's about the people that matter to you. And then, nation building. I want to help out the next generation. So, what did I do? I taught financial literacy programs. So, I taught in different schools. Yun. So, medyo nag-talk ako ng financial literacy.
Okay.
Yan. In different schools, in University Belt, even in other areas like Laguna, Cavite. So, I was invited to talk there, and then even in companies. Yun. And it was fulfilling, and there's a sense of accomplishment when you're helping others. Yan. But then again, syempre, kailangan mo rin kumita. At some point, I had to professionalize it and use the license to, of course, get paid.
That actually answers my next question kasi I'm about to ask, how do you use your platform to share your knowledge to other people? So you mentioned na it's very generous of you actually na you plan financially other people's, financial decision for free. And at the same time, you also mentioned na nai-invite ka as guest speaker. What do you usually talk about, or what do you usually teach to your audiences?
Most of the time, I talk about financial disciplines. Yan. Financial disciplines. Binibreak ko muna yung mindset of investments. Kasi, a lot of times, when you talk about money, people would want to learn about where to invest, how to invest, and looking back, going back with my personal experience, hindi eh. It's not about investment eh. It's not about making your first million. It's not just about making a lot of money. You need to understand why you want it. You need to understand what's causing you to believe that you want it. So in order to do that, you really have to deep dive sa behavior mo. Why do you think that way? Why do you want to spend that way? And that's what I do. I break it down in such a way that you will realize the purpose of why you want to invest, of why you want to be more liquid, make more money, yun, di ba? So it's not just about the goal. You want to understand why people think that way, and that's what I do. So I coach people for them to realize yung why nila in life with regard to their finances. Otherwise, if it's just about investment, then you're missing the point. Diba? Uh, do you want to invest? Do you want to become successful because you want to prove yourself to other people? Do you want to impress other people? Do you want to show justice? Parang gano'n. Kasi inapi ka nung bata ka.
Ay, may pinagugutan pala.
'Di ba? Yeah.
Oo.
And until you're able to dig that, then investing in something is not the real answer. Like, why do people invest in real estate? Why do I want to invest in real estate? Meron ba akong kinukure or hinihil nung bata ako? Yan. So that's what I do. I just don't talk about, oh, hey, this is the best investment. Punta ka dito. Put your money in this investment. You want to understand how people think about themselves and how they think about finances in regard to their personal behaviors in their personal lives. Yeah.
What reactions do you usually receive from your, I don't know, relatives? Kasi free, I don't know if I can call them your clients.
In a way, clients na rin kasi I also remember I'm selling properties.
Okay.
So when I sell properties, I just don't sell properties. I give financial advice. I financial coaching too. Kasi when you're selling properties are not a cheap investment. So you really have to spend a lot, spend millions,
Yeah, oo, totoo.
right? So you wanna understand why do you want to invest in properties, di ba? So you wanna know why. So when I talk to people and then I share these ideas, di ba? Parang nagugulat sila. Kasi parang dini-deep dive ko. Nagdidig ako eh. Kasi I want to understand. Yung goal mo kasi is to help. I'm coming from a place of wanting to serve and help the person so that when you decide what you want, sure ka. Kasi the moment you put your money there, yun na yun. And kapag dapat ready ka. Ready ka dun sa level of responsibility. Ready ka na malugi yung investment. Because any investment is an emotional investment. Lalo na kung hard-earned money yan. Lalo na sobrang pinaghirapan mo, ilang taon mong pinag-ipunan. Kung hindi mo pinag-isipan yan, masakit yan. So I wanna make sure that when people invest, when they talk to me, they know what they're doing. So parang I want to be parang their guide and not just, because I don't want to sell. I want to help. Magkaiba yun eh. Di ba? So when you sell, bilhin mo na. magandang investment to. Di ba? I want to help people get the best decision. Yung matulungan talaga sila. And if uh, coaching them with regard to their finances, baka kasi that's not the right investment for them for all you know. Right?
So, for your RP journey, how do you change your financial decisions, yung wealth decisions mo?
Uh, I told earlier, no, I did RFP while I was broke.
Ah,
Because I was really attempting to improve my financial life. So I had to do something. And the moment I've learned RFP, I cannot say naman overnight, okay na yung buhay ko eh.
oo, naman.
So it took me a lot of practice. I started working on my finances. I started breaking down my lifestyle, understanding how I behave sa life ko every single day. Why do I spend this way? Why do I put my money here? Yun. And I really ask myself, yun. I talk to myself, why do I spend my money this way? And then the next thing that I did was to develop the practice of writing it down. Yan. And then I did my personal income statement and personal balance sheet. So I monitor that. And then tinitingnan ko walang natitira. So after a while, nung minomonitor ko na yung lifestyle ko, I was able to see a pattern in my life. So that's what I did. I check my life patterns. And yung mga patterns na yun yung binago. Slowly, slowly. And while I'm investing in myself as well. So sabay-sabay ko siyang ginawa. Hindi naman automatic nag-improve yung buhay ko eh. 'Di ba? And then I offered myself to the world. I shared the services for free sa friends ko. And then, kasi you need to practice eh. You need to practice what you've learned. And later on, when I was able to earn enough, diba? Then I started investing. So the behavioral part and the discipline part for me was the longest. Kasi when I was doing that, I wasn't saving enough eh. Kasi sakto lang eh. Parang hindi pa nag-grow yung income ko. Yun. Pero na-build ko na yung discipline. Na-build ko na so much so that when I had enough money, it was easy for me to decide. I already know what I want. I know already where I want to place it. I know already my target, my timelines, my goals. Kumbaga, all bases covered already. And the discipline helped me. Yun. That's actually the hardest, to build the discipline. It's easy, let's say you make like 1 million or 2 million in a day. Ang daling gastusin yan eh. Di ba? Or even more, di ba? Madaling gastusin yan. But to control yourself, that's the hardest. Like, how do you plan to spend or invest this money? Or save, di ba? Saan mo dadalhin to? And I can say, the structure that I built when I was single and now that I am married is the same structure na nag-evolve lang that I continue to apply in my life. So for example, in my married life, we have financial statement. We have semi-annually, we review our income statement and balance sheet. Di ba? Sino ba gumagawa nun? Normally, companies lang, di ba?
Oo.
Di ba? If you're an accountant. But if you do that, ang sarap na feeling. Kasi parang, ay, okay pala, no? Parang yung savings mo, ito na yung kita. Yung expenses mo, ay, dito mataas. Baka kailangan nating bawasan dito. Yan. And then by the end of the year, teka lang, baka need nating i-adjust yung lifestyle natin. Kasi di ba ito yung goal natin. Yan. Relative to your vision, relative to your goals, So, you really monitor. So, for me, the discipline. That's why I teach discipline all the time eh. Kasi that's the hardest eh. People talk about investments, di ba? Talk about earning more. But if you don't have discipline, no matter how much income you earn, wala kang masisave. Yan. But the moment you build that discipline and embrace it and then live it day by day, it becomes you. And then when you have opportunities, resources, you have enough finances, it's easy for you to decide where to place it, how much you will place, and the level of your risk appetite and risk tolerance. So, mas clear sa'yo. So, kuyari, kung may investment ka na hindi lumipad, clear sa'yo na pag nalugi ka, hindi mo iyakan yon. Masakit, pero hindi mo iyakan kasi alam mo na nag-risk ka.
Yes.
'Di ba? Pero what if hard-earned money mo yan? Yan na lang ang pera mo. Ni-risk mo pa. 'Di ba? So, medyo iiyak ka, masakit yun. So, that's why you need critical thinking, especially when you talk about money. Because money is emotional. It becomes emotional, lalo na when you're married.
So, at home, ikaw yung nagmamanage ng money tracker nyo.
Actually, it's my wife who does the monitoring, and I'm the one reviewing.
Okay.
So we have financial analysis.
Do
Para
you,
lang.
do you see improvement naman?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. If I haven't done that, syempre, we wouldn't be able to invest in the things that we aspire when we were just starting. So, nung bagong kasal kami, I already implemented that in our marriage. Yun. And that's still a result of the structure I've learned, the disciplines that I've learned when I was still single. Na in-apply ko lang siya nung married na ako. So, it's really the discipline. When you are disciplined, the resources, the moment you get resources, you know exactly where to put your resources. So, what we do is, like, we basically know how much we have, di ba? How much savings we have. We discuss yung percentage of our savings on a regular basis, and then we increase depending on the level of our income, and then we identify what kind of priorities we have for the year. So in my married life, I have this annual dream planning. So what we do is we review our number of priorities every year, and then based on that priorities, we anchor all our activities and then all our finances. Ibig sabihin doon lang iikot yung gastos ko. Kasi yun yung priority ko for the year. Anything other than that, distraction yan. So you know already. So when with regard to financial decision making, gagawin ba natin to? Hindi. Check mo yung priorities. It's not part of our major priorities. So we're not gonna get there. Hindi natin to gagawin. Ganun siya. So it makes your life simplified. It makes your life controlled. And then by the end of the year, may accomplishment ka. May sense of fulfillment ka. Lalo na kung na-achieve mo siya. Yung challenge kasi, lalo na when you're liquid, when you are excited, lalo na pag you have so much money, is yung sobrang taas ng emotion mo, you want to put your money everywhere.
Yes, oo.
Diba? So, the greatest mastery talaga is discipline. And when you have discipline, you can control the way you spend, save, and invest your money.
So, yung self-discipline and self-control na tinutukoy mo, was that shaped by RFP or other learnings in life? Or have you met other people from RFP na parang nakapag-realize sa'yo na etong mindset na to dapat i-adapt mo or dapat i-improve mo so mas maging mag-work yung pag-financial planning mo?
Siyempre, getting the RFP license is just the start. Learning the program, finishing the program, is also about the continuous learning. So, in the past, I've attended FFF, Financial Fitness Forum of Randall. And then I've also attended different programs, financial. Kumbaga, patuloy yung learning ko. Hindi ako natapos sa RFP. And then I've also studied other seminar. I attended other seminars and then learn from other professionals, RFP. And then, sino ba yung mga, yan, sila Edwin, si Prof. Edwin, and si, sino pa ba? Yung mga speakers sa Financial Fitness Forum, yung RFP, yung annual RFP conference, yan. After getting the RFP license, yung ginagawa ko is continuously attend and then learn insights from them. And my goal really is to improve my mindset. Kasi iba-iba yung topics nila eh. Yun, so I've been attending that. And then even if kunyari nag-level up na yung yung growth ko as a person, ma-attend pa din ako. Yun. Even face to face, online. And then I also talk to other financial professionals or successful people. Yan. I don't stop learning. So until now, I'm still learning.
So, out of all talks, seminars, or webinars na binild up ni RFP for RFP members, ano yung pinakatumatak sa'yo?
Siyempre, when you're doing the financial plan. Kasi personal eh.
Oo nga naman.
Diba? When it's yung pinakatumatak sa akin was building your financial plan. Yung 5-year plan. Diba? When we were doing the program, yun yung natagalan ako doing the paper.
How do you do that?
Kasi I had to reflect eh. Parang, ano bang target ko? And at that time, I broke nga ako eh. Parang ano bang goal ko in life at that time? Why do I want
Scratch talaga.
Yeah, why do I want to finish this? Why do I want to become an RFP? I had to ask myself. And then when I started writing the plan, I realized, oh nga, this is what I want. Yon. Iba kasi pag sinusulat mo pala. Tapos pinag-uusapan, you declare it sa friends mo, sa close friends mo, you talk about it, and then you actually develop the plan. And then after you develop the plan, you execute the plan. Yeah. So yun yung pinaka gusto kong process. Mahirap siya though. Kasi may defense eh. Pero yun yung tumatak sa akin. Kasi nung naintindihan ko na how to do it, parang mas naging clear sa akin in terms of how I want to structure my life. How I want to develop the life that I want. And then, of course, malaking factors nga yung listening from different financial speakers too in the marketplace. Yan. Kumbaga, what it does is to reinforce your learning. Yan. Yung iba kasi, di ba, pagkakuha ng license, you stop na.
Yes.
Yung sa akin, continuous learning talaga. And then, application. At the end of the day, if you don't apply, diba, nothing will work. So you have to test it. I had to test it to myself. Kasi I cannot teach something that I haven't done. I have to make it work. So, and I'm more credible to teach it if nag-work siya sa akin. But just imagine doing that at the time when you don't have enough. Kasi I feel like, di ba pag registered financial planner ka, dapat kahit pa paano, may savings ka na. Kahit pa paano, meron ka. Pero yun yung challenge ko nun. Ano ko gagawin? Broke ako. But then again, I had to level up my mind, believe in myself, believe in my faith kay God na I can make it happen. So, it's really parang an aha moment for me, but at the same time, a turning point in my life. Na may mga bagay talaga na gagawin ka para magbago yung buhay mo. And you have to pay the price. Yeah. Number one, hindi naman libre yung RFP, di ba? You have to invest. Yun. So, I really saved up for it. Di ba?
Do you introduce yourself as an RFP member, or you reach out to people talaga
Uh, I don't like naturally promote myself
vocally?
vocally.
Oo.
Yeah, kasi that's not my personality. Yon. But when you talk about when you ask for advice or coaching, 'di ba? That's when I mention na, "Oy, by the way, I'm a registered financial planner. I can help you." Ganyan. So, in a way, it's a segue to help other people, 'di ba? When I was starting, kasi syempre, when people will still look for credibility, eh, 'di ba? Parang, why do you want to teach me? What do you have? Like, how credible are you?
Mm.
So yun yung ano ko, yun yung segue ko na I'm a registered financial planner and I can help you with what you're going through sa finances mo. Kasi I've learned something and I want to share it. Ganun lang. Hindi yung parang, oh, I'm an RFP. Do you wanna get my services?
Ay, hindi ka, parang hindi mo siya nilalagay sa social media mo so that people can reach out to you.
Later on, I did that kasi
Okay.
I'm also in real estate business, 'di ba? So I put it in my signature, I put it in my calling card para lang to make people aware na I'm a credible person with regard to financial planning.
Mm.
'Yun. Ang challenge kasi sa financial planning, it's hard to do financial planning if you're broke. Di ba,
Yeah.
like how can you
Paano
do
ipiplan mo?
financial planning for other people? Like, ikaw nga mismo, hindi okay yung life mo eh.
Yeah,
So
oo.
that's my first goal to help myself. Hindi to help others muna eh.
Mm.
Help myself muna. I need that I need to be equipped to help myself so much so that I can also help others in the future. So yun yung trinabaho ko. Talagang inaral ko paano i-grow yung sarili ko and then ma-improve yung buhay ko, ma-improve yung buhay ng family ko. And then while doing it, I was also extending service sa mga tao na kailangan without asking for a fee. Yan. So parang yun nga, there's a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment by doing that. So parang na-inspire ako na to become better and then later on, nung nag-improve na yung life ko, I feel like I'm more credible na kasi,
Mm.
'di ba? Hindi na ako broke.
So that's how you work it out. Nag-invest ka, nag-build ka ng business mo to make yourself stable financially para you can
Yes.
apply it to other people.
Yes, I really had to kasi after corporate, I used to work for a company before. I was thinking, how can I improve my financial life? Yan. So I realized I wanted to do entrepreneurship.
Mm.
That's why I went to business. Then again, di naman madali yun eh. Hindi naman madali mag-business eh.
Mm.
But guess what? Eh, di ba, I already have a structure. Yan. I already have the discipline. I just need an opportunity. Yan. So when the opportunity came, and then I met the right people, yon. So parang naging okay na siya. I was able to create opportunities for myself na nag-improve yung financial life ko.
Mm.
Yon.
So for almost 11 years here in RFP, can you share something valuable lesson or moral lesson that you can share to our viewers and listeners para mas ma-inspire sila and ma-motivate for financial planning?
With regard to financial planning, I mean, money kasi is like very relevant to everyone. Like we talk money every day. We talk about it.
Mm.
Di ba? As in, pagising mo sa umaga ka matulog, talagang yun yung iniisip mo eh. Hindi mo siya maalis.
Mm.
Anong kakainin mo, gagastos ka.
It's all about money.
Di ba? Parang it's part of our daily lives. But you have to ask yourself, why do I want this much? And then, para saan? Ano yung purpose? Why do I want it? if you know already your why, then the how will follow. That's where the learning comes in, the mentors, the coaches to help you parang navigate that. So, it's easy kasi na parang, oh, I want to be a millionaire at the age of 20. I want to have this much money at the age of 30. But it's a surface eh. What you need to do is to deep dive your life, discover who you really are as a person, understand why you behave that way, and why do you need this much. Kasi at the end of the day, it's not all about making a lot of money. At some point, you have to stop. Di ba? Kasi you have other hats in life. You can be a brother, a sister, a friend. Marami kang roles in life. It's not just about uh, making a lot. But what you do with what you have will definitely impact yung life mo. So you have to understand para kanino mo ginagawa. Why do you want to earn this much? Yun. Ano yung mga priorities mo in life? And to do that, you have to understand your behavior. You have to understand the way you think, yung thoughts mo, yung beliefs mo, even yung actions. Diba? Thoughts, beliefs, actions, results. Yan. If you don't change your mind, no matter what you do, even if you earn hundreds of millions, but you have a limiting belief, you have a different mindset with regard to money, then you'll never be successful. Diba? You may be successful with regard to having a lot, but para saan yan? What's it for? Like ako, my goal is, and in my life testimony, I realized I didn't really want to be a millionaire or billionaire. Parang ganon. What I really want is to be the best father and best husband that I can be. So that's how I actually manage my life. Parang lahat ng ginagawa ko, anchored doon. I work hard sa life ko, sa business namin, because I wanted to be the best person that I can be sa mga tao na nagmamatter sa akin. So when it became clear what I really want, then I work hard. 'Di ba? And then as a result of being excellent sa trabaho mo, the product is finances. You have a better finances. You have opportunities to earn more. Ganon siya. Yan. Hindi siya parang instant. It's a process that you have to go through. And I believe if you understand yourself when you're young, and I was telling kanina, looking back, I hope I would have invested my time well when I was younger. Diba? I would have learned it like maybe 8 years earlier, and would have attracted a lot of opportunities earlier. But guess what? Yun yung life mo eh. That's my lesson eh. And hindi naman ako nagsisisi. No regrets with my life's experiences. Those things had to happen in order for me to become who I am today. Now, if you're listening to this and you are that person and you're still 18, 19, di ba? Time is your greatest currency. Do not waste it. Kasi if you invest your time wisely, you will definitely get a lot of opportunities in your life. Invest in yourself, invest in your skills, invest in relationships, because you'll never know. The people that you're investing right now will be the people, di ba, who will invest to you in the future. Because they realize na you are a much evolved person who have that character and also who is trustworthy to take care of opportunities. So, time talaga. And definitely, if you're able to invest wisely sa time mo, you'll definitely improve your financial life, 'di ba? Kasi nag-invest ka sa skills and knowledge eh.
Yeah, tama.
And then in most of all, you have to build that discipline. Discipline is the hardest. Kasi the discipline will definitely teach you, 'di ba? Teach you every day. Masakit eh. Masakit ang discipline, mahirap siya. But sometimes we run our lives autopilot. Why? Imposter syndrome. Because you want to be like other people. It all goes back to really knowing who you are. Self-discovery, knowing your purpose. You know, these things we see this a lot on social media, 'di ba? But that's really important eh. It's not like it's not as simple as I want to be a millionaire, I want to be successful. There's so much that you need to understand. And if you can do that at an early age, 'di ba? I mean, good for you.
Yeah, actually, I really do appreciate all of your sharings and knowledge. I learned about everything that you shared to our viewers. I really learned a lot of things about this conversation, and I really appreciate you and sharing your stories with us. And that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you love diving into money stories as much as we do, make sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify, or visit our official website at rfp.ph for more financial insights. Until next time, keep chasing those money moves.